Oh no, Fogged, what have you touched? Oh no. Well, hopefully, if you can't hear Fogged, I promise you I'm not talking to myself. I'm not crazy. He is here. I do hear him. He says he'll come. He says he's coming back in a minute, and he also said that ODPix was the greatest. Thank you, Fogged. Very kind of you to say. Hopefully you'll be able to hear him soon on the stream. He did say that. I wouldn't make that up. I would not. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yellow Submarine versus NIP. Let's give you a little bit of a rundown of who we've got playing what on each side. Down at the bottom, we have Era on his Tiny. He's going to be there with Misha on the IO. Support duo with Saberlight on the offlane Enigma. Down here, matched up against them, you can have your Toro farming on the safe lane Morph, supported by Miposhka. And then swinging over to the mid lane, we've got Mio. That last, the Zeus, being the hero to come through for the Yellow Submarine. It's going to be laning against Supreme's Lina. That leaves us the top lane. We have Collapse on the offlane Mars, and he's laning against, he's laning with, so bad, of course, against Charlie's Ursa. We'll imagine we will see one of the supports from NIP head up the top. And Fog, are you there now?
Hello, hello.
Hello. I
hope
can
that they can hear
you. Hopefully they do as well. I'm sure you're coming through loud and clear. So yeah, Fog, take it away. Give me the lowdown on what we're seeing here.
I'm a little bit mixed on both drafts. I think there's some weaknesses and some strength to the sides of both. I think this Enigma's kind of cool versus Morphling because it's this greedy pick that takes advantage because Morphling's greedy too. I'm just looking forward to see some fast-paced game because I think that's what we're in shape for here. With a Lina and an Ursa on one side, so I feel like they're going to play really aggressive with that. While I feel like Yellow Submarine, they're going to play really aggressive with their Zeus and Mars and Witch Doctor. While we have like these other guys kind of farming on the side here, like the Enigma and the Morphling going to be more farmy.
Yeah, I mean, so the mid lane feels like a bit of an old school matchup, really. What, Zeus versus Lina in this 1v1 mid? How does this sort of pay off? You know, who comes out on top? Are we going to see Lina being able to threaten Zeus with the nukes, or is Zeus just always going to be able to sit back and arc lightning?
I feel like with the new Zeus, I think Zeus will be okay. Because it used to be like a little bit you can get contested because you get points in Lightning Bolt and you're actually going for kills. It's just a farming Zeus now. So I feel like you're always forcing the lane in. Only thing that can change it, I think, is going to be eyes on Era, right? Watching what this Tiny does. Because Zeus is a very easy hero to rotate on. That's why we see them put that ward to protect him on that right side so they can watch for the rotations.
Sure. I mean, because they're on this Tiny, where is he going to find himself the most useful in this laning stage? Like bottom lane, is he going to need to sort of stick around here much? Like, can he do a lot against the sort of Witch Doctor Morph lane? Or is there going to sort of be, are they just looking for kill potential onto Miposhka in this lane?
I think he can stay down here. He has easy ways to rotate to any of the lanes. That's the beauty about a Tiny, but he actually works pretty well with Enigma. Like, just moving the positioning of either of these heroes can be really detrimental to them. Like, even Morphling, I think they can actually slow down the Morphling's farm a decent amount with just the denies, and just if they do get any tossbacks on him, it'll just cause him some confusion.
We'll see how much they can mess with your Toro down there. And then up on the top lane, I mean, to sort of look at this matchup a bit more, Ursa, you've got the Fury swipes, you are against a melee hero, but Mars hits hard and there has a lot of good burst damage. I mean, nowadays, who do you sort of favor? Does the Ursa win out because he does have that Io backing him up, or Phoenix and Mars able to offer enough offensively to threaten Charlie early on?
I actually like the Mars Phoenix personally. I don't really like Ursa as a hero, period, anymore. I think he's just, his Earthshock nerfs just have added up too much. And I feel like Mars is a hero that can play around it really nicely, because you only have one gap closed, of course, on Ursa. He has two different ways to push you away and get him off of himself with both the God's Rebuke and the Spear. So I do like the Mars Phoenix lane quite a lot versus Io Ursa's. Ooh.
I mean, he's just got to be careful. I mean, you sort of see that Io anytime he floats around there. When they've got a couple of levels on this Mars Phoenix, they spear Misha to a tree. They're going to be able to blow him up. And bottom lane. That's going to be where someone gets blown up first, as Saberlight and Era get that first blood onto your Toro. The tips out as well here, as NIP feeling feisty to kick this one off.
Very nice. Very nice. To get an Enigma first blood is pretty massive, just to get his ball rolling, just to get him started. If he wants to go for some, rush book or something, used to be the old build. He's probably just going to go for that arcane boots early for Era. But that's what we're talking about, this Tiny. Those tossbacks versus these fragile heroes. Eidolons, they pack a punch.
Gotta be a little more careful down in your Toro. Those early deaths will certainly hurt. If they start to get the level advantage on NIP's side, that pressure's just going to amp up more and more, and just sort of set the lane up to a point where it's going to be a lot easier for Era to use sort of his early strengths against the other lanes like this, as you pointed out, very vulnerable Zeus in the mid lane if Era's able to get a wraparound on him.
Yeah. And he's doing a great job, honestly. I'm watching Era's movements this entire time bottom, blocking both camps, making sure that they can't pull it back at all. So this Morphling's farm is going to be slowed down a lot, and they're gonna crush the experience down here because of these constant denies with the Eidolons. Again, look at them. Both of them blocking both camps. See that? Just to make sure. Just crush this Morphling. They're trying to keep the pressure onto him. They're doing it perfectly. They came with a lot of prep this morning, it looks like.
Top lane. Collapse going to go with the spear onto Charlie. Holding him back.
He's gone for the Orb of Venom again, too. He loves getting Orb of Venom, it feels like, in offlane, just to pressure those carries. And we do see Era get himself that D ward. The very obvious ward. He's able to find it. So now, you know, your Zeus does get a little bit spooked in the mid lane at times. Whenever the Tiny's off the map, you have to be quite wary of just getting tossed. So you see he's playing left side in the mid lane always now.
Well, they might get a chance from Miposhka here. It's Miposhka. He's going to get tossed over towards Saberlight. Monzan the Malefice upon him in with the Avalanche. Miposhka trying to run. The Fairy Fire will save him. Miposhka able to stay alive.
Look out for falling rocks.
How's he doing on the regen? No regen on him at all,
No
actually.
regen.
So he's going to have to play very careful. Might stick around, see if he can get a pull out or something, but yeah, sitting incredibly low. Needs to be very prepared for Era's able to get in range for an avalanche, as Miposhka will dive. That is going to be the case.
He's so happy that he has a pull available now, but Yatoro, he steps up pretty far. Era.
Got the
Got the
toss.
toss back.
He is shifting, though. And if they got enough damage to fight through the shift into strength, it doesn't look like it. So Yatoro able to step back. But still now, both of them without any regen. What have we got coming out of the courier? We do have
Should
some
be quite
regen
a bit.
coming in
Yeah.
from Miposhka. Yeah, he's picked up a salve, and we'll be able to hand that over to Yatoro whilst he shifted into Agi.
And he's finally been able to pull. So he pulls the wave back. He's going to get a little bit better experience for himself and some easier farm for the Morphling under the tower. Yatoro, he's been slowed down a bit, but you see he's still doing pretty all right. 25 last hits, he's still up there.
That's pretty close, really, across all the lanes. Mid lane, very even. And top lane, yeah, just the same sort of story. 23 and 5, 24 and 1. Nobody getting totally zoned out these early lanes.
I like how Mio maximizes this as well, too. He goes to check this top bounty rune for himself in his jungle, but he does it early so that he can stack the camp, actually, with an arc landing. So now he has a sack, too, as well as picking up the bounty and only missing one creep for it. I like these little nuances for the mid lane.
And I'm talking about the mid lane as Supreme. He's already ready to make his first move. As soon as he hits 6, he's heading down bottom. Creeps do see him. They've got the combo, and that'll do it. Just that extra bit of firepower from Supreme, allowing them to nuke down Yatoro before he's able to shift up into strength. It's an early rotation from the Lina, but one that pays off massively.
And these bounty rotations are always, yeah, they're really cool, just how different players take it. Like the Zeus, he could have gone top and maybe gone for a gank if he wanted to, but he decided to stack. Supreme, he could have stacked, he decided for the gank. I like when they just make, you know, at least they made a decision rather than just like going back to the mid lane. They actually actively did something extra. And I heard, you know, in the interview, we heard Mio talking. It's like these little things, they make the big difference when you're playing versus those big teams. So definitely looking for them to all play as perfect as possible, even though we like seeing mistakes.
Mio, Arcane Room will give him the pass to start clearing up these little stacks that he had going. A good boost of XP and gold. Of course, he is 7. I mean, Thunder God's Wrath is available if they do find opportunities on the side lanes. Probably the top lane is going to be the one that's most likely to have situations where Yellow Submarine might be able to burst someone down low.
Yep. They keep getting. They've been getting both pretty low. The IO as well as that Ursa. They actually get an instant D ward too, so some nice levels going to be coming out for these two top, almost 5 on Mars. Yeah, that extra damage, they have to be ready for it on the side of NIP.
Charlie trying to get a bit of a look in onto this block here still. If they can land a spear, it's going to be a lot of damage. Won't quite clip the tree. Didn't quite have the distance, so Charlie will live. And a good job as well. Yeah, absolutely. He gets hit by that and a rebuke with the Thunder Gods. He's going down every time.
Yep, and we're seeing Supreme. He's looking again for this rotation. Yatoro, he's getting low.
Can he get in for the Laguna? He can. Is it enough? Yatoro able to wait for him off to the side. Era's going to be hunting. Yatoro, he cannot get anywhere as he's stuck. Supreme will find him. I mean, yeah, 2 times. These Lina rotations couldn't be any better. You know, ganking the enemy carry twice in the first 7 minutes to push him onto his 3rd death already in the laning stage. NIP are doing an excellent job of shutting down this Morph early, and they know it. The tips continue to fly out.
I think they were talking to each other in the lobby chat too before the game. So I think these two know each other quite a bit. And yeah, I love it. Supreme's doing exactly what he needs to do. Is don't play selfish. He's playing very selfless, making moves around to shut down the enemy carry rather than just playing that mid lane. Love it. When you're playing a hero like mid Lina, I think this is what you have to do. I don't like it when I see these Linas playing so farm heavy, where they're just like, wait, I need my Yules to make a gank. I feel like you're putting yourself in a weird position. I feel like Lina has to get active in the mid lane as early as possible.
Yeah, and you think, sort of considering how both the side lanes are going, it's always going to be the bottom where Supreme's going to look to move. Going to the top lane it's just much harder to achieve stuff, or just do you think he feels that Charlie he's doing fine up here at the moment as the Ursa?
I think he just wants to slow down Morphling. It's it's a game with the Morphling in it. Like whatever, Mars is going to get stuff anyway. If he dies, who cares? It's game's about the Morphling. So.
We'll land the spear onto Charlie, but he's got 18-1 charges, so very hard to burst through.
Mio's just playing it much more farmy than Alina. He's actually
bottom.
just stacking again. Bottom.
They're able to take down the tower, get him behind the trees, and catch out Miposhka. Miposhka's got nowhere to run. Toss from Era, and a few more punches. Miposhka is trying to escape. It will pop a Fairy Fire, but they are going to have the movement speed to close him down as Era comes in at the final blow to take down Miposhka. And yeah, this bottom lane has just been totally cleaned up. 9 minutes in, 4 kills out of this bottom lane, and the tier 1 tower going down. It's one of those starts where we are seeing an Enigma just have a very, very good opening to the game. And we've seen it before, you know, if an Enigma gets a good start, the items are just going to come out so quickly. This mech's going to be in the game before you know it.
And this is also a game where BKB reigns supreme. You know, we didn't actually touch on it too much, but there's no BKB piercing to Sable. Saberlight, if he gets mech, I think I actually thought he might just go straight BKB this game, but mech into BKB and he's free. They pop a Mars ult, they pop a Phoenix ult, he can just black hole the targets inside of it, and then sure, might have to worry about Supernova pop, but you know, damage is usually done by then. Charlie top.
Oh, it's a good spear now. The extra burst of Yatora. No, Charlie's going to get the chance to pop the ult. He's going to be able to run away for this one, or maybe not. The arena's down, trapping him to the side, but there's the relocate, nice. Taking him back out to base. Misha will manage to start healing him up. Charlie actually not going to wait for the relocate back. He's going to TP back immediately so he can start to sort of push them back before the eyes in, make sure they're not set up for it. Over in the river, Supreme, he stepped across. Able to bring down Sobab pretty low. Trying to run in the cask, actually not bouncing as Misha able to pull himself in afterwards. Laguna comes out to Miposhka. Era comes in with the avalanche to finish him off. The Witch Doctor's down again. Collapse chasing for Supreme. Thunder God's Wrath in place, but Supreme turns with a light strike, and again Misha. These tethers trying to save him, doesn't matter. The Maledict's upon him and the damage is already done, so Yellow Submarine will get the kill onto Supreme. Nothing else. The rest of NIP able to make it out of there, and of course as it all started, Charlie just surviving through that initial burst, and some great attempts and moves there from Misha to just try and keep his cause alive.
I cannot believe he actually saved the Ursa there. I thought at least one of the two were going to die on the initial go. Ends up still being, I mean, pretty even actually. Like Yellow Submarine, because they get that kill, ends up being fine because they get the big one on Supreme. And they still back up their Morphling, and he's still farming Triangle. And he gets an Iron Talon too on the Morphling. Really important thing to point out, because he's going to be able to Ancient at a very fast pace. All things considered, yeah, I don't think that hurts Yellow Submarine too much. They're in a very comfortable spot still. Saberlight almost has the mech finished up. I think they wanted to be a little bit more ahead on the side of NIP though, from the way that, you know, Kyo was describing also the way the lanes would go. He thought 2 lanes would go dominant, but
does he want to commit the black hole for this? Yes, he does.
He does.
Straight up he goes. TPs are coming in, but nothing is going to be able to be done to save that Zeus. A black hole well spent for sure. As they take down the enemy mid, and now the space is there for them to start pushing pressure onto this mid-tier 1 tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Let's see if they move to defend. It collapse. It's going to be up to him if he wants to be the one to set up for that defense, having his ult up. And they'll actually just be able to hold them off anyway from the tower. Is he going for the Midas on the Morphling? It looks like he might. Looks like he is actually.
Up the money. I mean, yeah, with that sort of casual gloves of the haste, I wouldn't put it past him, yeah. I mean,
just
so
trying to maximize greed, I guess, this game, because he's playing versus Enigma, and maybe he saw the Ursa items.
Yeah, I think that's probably got to be a big part of it, because I think if that Ursa isn't going to Battle Fury, you don't see this perseverance, it could be a bit of a risk to go this greedy against NIP's lineup, but because that is the case with Charlie's item build, now I think you probably do get away with this Midas on Morph. It's going to pay off.
I think I'm okay with it as well. I think it's just fine. He just wants to keep up in levels, keep up in that farm when he's off the side too. Supreme.
Arena. He gets speared. Dropped down. They've got the Supernova as well. Misha's trying to come over to save him, but they've already got the kill. Supreme will fall. Misha stepping back. The Thunder God's Breath comes out. They've killed off the IO as well. Mio's going to survive. He's able to run. The cask is out into the Maledict. Charlie's in trouble. He's already used the Enrage. Charlie's going to go down too. Big moves here from Yellow Submarine up top as Collapse. He just drops down the arena, and we are going to see this happen many times. I feel this game that they have got that dominant team fight potential anytime they want to commit. Just arena, Supernova. It's very hard for NIP to fight into in this early stage.
Even with the cask bouncing through, the cask with arena is, nothing to joke around. That cask is going to bounce a lot, and versus a hero like Ursa in Rage, those long duration disables are not as annoying, but a cask is like your worst nightmare if you're next to somebody. And we're seeing a little bit of lack of initiation on an NIP. Until they have Era's Blink Dagger, it's going to be a little bit hard for them to just walk in and start those fights. Like, if Supreme just walks in and yules the targets, he's just going to die every time, so.
Because that's probably the question I'd ask you as well. We're seeing, Yellow Submarine's read of the game, and Yatoro is saying, I'm going to go for this Midas because this Ursa's going for the Battle Fury. I mean, the question would be, do you like that Charlie's going for the Battle Fury this game, or do you think this sort of messes with the flow you wanted to see from NIP's draft?
God, I'm not too sure right now because I don't know what else you go on an Ursa.
Sure, you're not a fan of the hero at all. Yeah.
I think you might just have to go for Battle Fury, especially in this style of game, because I think if he doesn't, you get to a point where you just lose this game. I think Yellow Submarine can just play it like relatively passive, and they know they're going to win the late game. A little bit of a slowdown of farm here.
I mean, it's definitely sort of on Charlie and NIP to show what can be done with this hero right now, as you say. Because a lot of other teams just not interested in playing with the Ursa right now in this current state of the game. So we'll see what Charlie's able to do. Battle Fury progress. He's 1,100 gold away from it. Top lane. Looking for Misha. He is out with the tether, but the Thunder God's Wrath is back up. Another kill for Mio. He snipes him out with the ultimate. Yeah, it's just we're seeing the three heroes here from Yellow Submarine starting to take over in net worth. Only slightly, still very close across the board. So time's going to be needed to be bought really for NIP to just allow this Ursa to really kick into farm. Because I feel like the morph with the Midas, at least still you've got sort of your burst, right? It feels like you can do more as a morph with the lack of items compared to an Ursa running around with battle.
Oh,
he's going to need something on top of that. If they can do this, they've got him in the arena. Misha's tethered across. Heals up there. They control onto the two of them. See if they can bring him down with this Death Ward. Misha's pushed out to the side. The Supernova stun. Not going to quite catch Supreme. NIP's able to step out. They're still burning down with the Sunray, but with the back of NIP, got to be careful. Yellow Submarine Era jumping in, looking for the control on Miposhka. Tosses him back into the hands of Charlie. Miposhka will fall. Still chasing here. Saberlight has the Black Hole of Veil of Fine opportunity. Still set up. So bad. And so bad he's out of spell usage as well. He's got a full wand, so he could try and run this through the trees, but he's going to have some incredible jukes to survive this. And he
no way.
He actually has incredible jukes indeed. Straight into the trees. He is away.
That was
that was cute. That was very cute there by So Bad.
And
they're still scanning. They're still looking.
That was perfect juke. And it's
perfect juke.
It's so important. I was gonna say the whole time that they're chasing for NIP to get kills, because that was all the ultis used. That's your timing to actually be able to trade versus Yellow Submarine, but you can't get too many actual. You only get what, Miposhka out of those ultis being used. So the downtime now, there's about 30 seconds where I feel like NIP, they want to try to rush to do something, but they just can't right now. They have to go get mana on Lina, and that's gonna give time for Yellow Submarine to get all their ultis back up. Yeah, it was so big that Supreme lived the initiation too.
I was so close to bringing him down.
Yeah.
Good job for NIP. They were able to keep him safe.
Mio is humongous, by the way, on this Zeus. He has an Aghanims he has one component away.
Oh boy.
So no BKB on the Enigma for
Yeah,
quite
no
some
black
time now,
hole.
so he's going to always be able to cancel Black Hole with Nimbus when he gets that.
Yeah.
Or the relocate. There's a couple different things you can actually do with Nimbus this game.
Well, I see NRP. They want to try and hit with the smoke. It's going to be making a move whilst those ults are all back online for Yellow Submarine, so NRP's got to make sure that they catch someone alone. I feel like if they do make a dive and time is there for Yellow Submarine to return with TPs, it's not going to be an easy fight for NIP. So
They can
sort of
start
catch
the
Eric
fight.
can get.
Yeah, they can maybe pop someone before the fight starts. That's the important thing with this Blink Dagger. Like Supreme and Era, they can kill maybe the Mars or the Phoenix and then start with a big advantage going into the fights if they can find them.
Dire's structures are fortified.
But we're seeing the setup. They're smoking themselves because they see the Lina.
Yeah, as NIP reveal themselves, pushing in on this tier 1 mid. Here's the response from Yellow Submarine. Collapse. He's going to look for some sort of setup. The tower does go down. The Island will find it. Era's in with the job. The Supernova very far away from any sort of action as this Laguna bursts out of the Mars, and that egg it wasn't anywhere near. Mio is able to TP out in time. It actually looks like Charlie and Misha, they're failing. The TP out from Charlie will come in. They don't want to fight on anymore, but yeah, that time around, Yellow Submarine not able to really bring the team fight as planned.
No, the Mars walked in and showed himself. Era's got the blink. That's what we're saying, is they can pop someone before the fight starts, and that's how they have to do it. And they do it perfectly. Phoenix, like you say, yeah, so bad. A little bit of weird positioning with that Ag, but I think they were just going to disengage anyway. The Mars died instantly, so. Nice heads-up move by NIP, but now, okay, Mio's got his Ags.
Chase on him, Aposhka, Charlie. Picking up a freebie. Going for the BKB straight after the Battle Fury to make sure that he's going to be feeling truly invincible against most of this lineup. Now BKB is going to be able to lock down on a target, try and take the Era. Looking to try and get a toss back. The Arena's going to be dropped down, as well as the Nimbus. As Era on the Arena will be saved for now by Misha as the heals are out and Era's able to step back.
Able to just, okay. He actually just ends up walking away as this Tiny. That's an ult wasted, as well as a Nimbus. Now they're going to know that there's no Arena blood. They have time. They have time to just chill out. Finish up Charlie's BKB, which is that big time that they want. They might get actually a pretty big triple BKB timing on the side of NIP. The Lina, the Ursa, as well as Enigma, all going to be getting those, and there's not anything besides the Supernova that goes through. I guess Death Ward and Maledict, but it's going to make NIP's team fight a lot easier for them to just get on these targets and blow them up. So now, big thing for Yellow Submarine, I feel, is get themselves that Blink Initiator, right? Collapse, he's going to need that Blink to kind of counteract Era so that he doesn't show his face right in the front of every fight. Very close to 20 minutes here, though. Actually, pretty much dead even gold, dead even experience. Usually the experience is a little bit more wacky, but...
But would you sort of still say that you think that NIP would have probably preferred to be a little bit ahead considering their heroes, or at this stage, because they have gone the route with Battle Furiosa, being even at this point is this just as good for them as it is for Yellow Submarine?
I think I still would have liked them to be a little bit more ahead.
Yeah.
Because if they were a little bit more ahead, maybe it's like they can get into a Roche. That's the thing, is they can sneak in too. So with their lineup, they always have like these little things they can do. And playing into Morphling and Morphling and Phoenix, these heroes, like the scale potential is just so massive to the later stages where you start looking and you're like, can Lina Ursa ever match? Can Lina Ursa match that in those later stages? They're gonna need quite an advantage of items, it does feel, to be able to actually match. If we get to those points, of course. That's okay. BKB number 1 finished for Charlie. BKB number 2 finished for Supreme, and Saberlight is one component away as well. So I feel like for them, finish the last BKB, but don't stray away from a fight if it's around your Ursa or Lina.
No, I mean, they are going to be so strong with these BKBs, especially just having Misha backing them up.
Supreme mid. He's under a sentry.
Ooh. Gonna be able to buy some time over the Yules combo. Pops the BKB, turns for the Laguna, uses his Essence Ring as well to hit him back up. He's gonna be fine. Charlie, he's just running straight in for the squishies, looking for Miposhka, but Miposhka's able to live. Charlie now turning over to the side, the Death Ward's out, but Miposhka does fall. Charlie able to put an end to it. Collapse will end up living. He's actually able to survive here as the Mars. It's just the Witch Doctor going down. Ults are expended though by Yellow Submarine.
Ooh, Collapse whiffing the spear. allowing Supreme to get BKB and Yules off and reset the fight. They lose Miposhka for it. They have to use their egg too in the back lines. It's NIP. They see a window for them to get aggressive.
He's even seeing if maybe he can get a jump on this, but it's all right. Fully into the strength and out to safety makes it away.
That's 2 BKB charges traded for just a Witch Doctor kill. They did force ultis, but can't actually get anything out of those. Okay, they're pinging bottom tower, so they want to try to take advantage of these ultis somehow here.
Let's see, pressure continuing to remain from NIP. And Yellow Submarine, I mean, doesn't look like there's going to be any interest in heading down here. Just trying to reclaim an outpost. Do have TPs up, as well as the arena, but no Supernova for 30.
Yeah, they're actually, okay. They're going to be the ones, if they get this Roche, it's pretty huge. Playing into an Ursa lineup, and you're the one who's going to be able to deny this one away. The scan is there.
I mean, yeah, they're gonna realize with the way that was showing anyway. But can they actually get her in time? I mean, it's not too low. They're going to be able to spook them already. Yellow Submarine, they feel that they can't commit for this. They've got to be careful. They know that NIP's on their way around. They have got the full combo up in 10. Supernova's there very shortly. So Yellow Submarine can bring the fight, but Charlie, he's actually going to walk in and just start finishing off this himself.
Power of Ursa.
Yeah, is there going to be a jump in time?
Now
They're
they
looking
know.
at it. It's too slow. NIP's able to just walk in and secure it for themselves.
Yeah, just too afraid to actually take the fight around there. Yeah, it really does feel like Yellow Submarine, they're trying to play more of this farm game in this game. Because it did feel like maybe they had a chance to contest there, but just giving a lot of respect to NIP's BKBs. And this is pre-Enigma BKB, like we're saying, like Saberlight. He's going to have his done, and that has to be a pretty big scare for Yellow Submarine. They have no way to counter it.
Triple fire.
The fights, unless they are able to jump someone themselves and sort of set it, they've got to look for big combos, big spear catches from Collapse. Otherwise, yeah, this Saberlight presence is going to be so tough to fight into. Anytime he's able to just get that pulse of Black Hole down, it's going to be huge amounts of damage that these heroes aren't quite geared up for yet.
Yeah, and he's got it done. So
Yep.
I feel like NIP, they have this massive spike right now where I feel like they can kind of dictate anything. I don't see Yellow Submarine having good ways to take fights at all into this anymore.
And Charlie's Ursa is just shooting further and further ahead.
He's got the
No staying on his level.
Too. Yeah. Not easy for a Morphling.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
Scan catches all of NIP out on the side here. Collapse is playing on the high ground, but NIP will start to siege. Yeah, it's gonna be, I mean, so much pressure on Collapse to get these connections now.
Yeah, it's all on his initiation.
Yep.
He's the one that sort of sets if a fight's going to go well or not.
The base is getting knocked at, Charlie. Forces reaction back. They start to reset. They're just going to use the relocate to push out the lane, it looks like, up top, rather than wasting any type of TPs, so they can just stay in the area, stay aggressive. They're scouting for this relocate. It looks so bad, trying to get some wards out.
They're not quite able to find the area. Charlie and Misha returning, and probably for the best as well. Charlie's still holding that Aegis. It's not going to be easy to fight into this Ursa outside, even if it is on their half of the map. They do have the wards around this point, but not too much coverage around this area. That Charlie and Misha are now sweeping over towards mid-on. Still, you know, Yatori's just trying to play in the safest part of the map, keeping himself over on this top. Skadi still about 2,000 to go to that.
This ward is pretty big here from NIP that they placed when they were pushing out the lane, though, with the reload. He's actually scouting. He's just saw Collapse sitting behind the Morphling, and now he's seeing Miposhka also for a second. So they're going to hard commit onto this tier 2.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Saberlight looks like he was thinking about trying to set up for top because they saw that. Yeah, Era's also there. They have all the information in the back lines there. They see Miposhkin collapse, and they're collapsing on
careful.
both of them.
Yeah. The relocate's coming in to try and catch them off guard. Collapse, he's able to make it away. Miposhka will be left behind to the claws of the bear.
We see the lines drawn. Yellow Submarines, farm, push lanes out as much as possible. Still about 1 minute and 20 seconds for Aegis, so not looking to take a fight.
And Charlie just 300 gold off of Full Abyssal. So some insane farm on this Ursa. They're certainly, they are showing us how it can be done here, NIP. The Ursa, it's absolutely working out at this point. 4K ahead nearly of the Morph. Bottom lane.
Supreme was hunting. Saberlight 2 now. This ward is scouting things out though for Yellow Submarine. They do see the 3.
No TP up on Collapse. So he's going to have to just rely on hiding in the trees and jumping around with a blink.
Outpost in 1 minute and 30. Now they've got 2 in control of for NIP too. Mio's trying to push out top and try to sneak it, but Supreme's on the hunt with an invis. Mio's got to be careful here. Will Supreme be able to find him? He's checking all the trees here.
Yeah, if he... No, there's already Mio's TPing out.
They're looking to set up on bottom themselves. Maybe expecting some split up. The Aegis is going to start getting reclaimed in about 12 seconds. Maybe looking to make a move on that.
They've got to get the spear on Saberlight though. If they don't get the spear, BKB is just going to keep him alive. He's going to be able to BKB CP out if they don't connect that initial stun. And they might even find him. Saberlight hiding in the trees.
Aegis reclaimed. Look at this. They're thinking about it. Collapse. He's waiting for the moment. They saw the Eidolon usage.
Yeah, Saberlight is going to show. Can he get the spear? And if so, do they have the burst? Yep, the spear connects. And they've got enough magical. Actually using the supernova. I mean, throwing up the attic because they know it's coming in. Charlie, he's just able to put the BKB and take down the egg just in time. He'll get it. Over the boards, Miposhka goes, putting an end to the Death Ward, keeping Misha alive. Supreme comes in with the heals as well onto Mio, stopping Mio from being able to get that last bit of burst out. The IO does still fall, but it's NIP cleaning up once more. Charlie just pushing himself further and further ahead as he picks up the triple. This Ursa just terrorizing Yellow Submarine right now.
He's owning so hard, and I think Collapse actually also hit the egg once. I don't know if that actually mattered, but it did sound like it was getting pretty close. He did end up hitting. I think Charlie was going to be able to finish it, but...
Wait, what did he do? What, he went for a deny hit on it?
He went for a deny hit on it, yeah.
No, dude, the egg would have lived.
I have to rewatch it.
The egg would have lived if he didn't do that. Look at this.
Look.
The egg would have lived.
It was close.
I think it would have lived. I'm pretty sure it would have lived if he didn't go for that deny attempt on it. It was that close on the audio cue.
Yeah.
It was. I think it was about to pop. That hurts. I mean, that would have
very close. Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably. I mean, Charlie probably would have still been able to clean up. I mean, he would have got stunned through the BKB. They probably wouldn't have been able to hurt him. But hey, who knows? Could have played out differently.
Just maybe. Era. Charlie just destroys so bad in a matter of
just killing everybody. They get the arena down. They're looking to try and burst down Era. Still alive. Misha's able to save him for now. The Death Ward's out. It's not enough damage to kill off Era. Era's able to stay alive as he walks away on the side of Tori, trying to go for Supreme. Era's in with the stun combo. Supreme setting up with the Yules. They burst him low with the Laguna Blade as he's been left alone in Yatoro. He does manage to waveform out and try for the TPs up on the cliff, but he actually makes it away.
Wow.
Yatoro will escape. We'll get to live another day.
Oh, and so bad actually makes a pretty huge mistake there. He had his Aeon Disc component split, trying to do the cute play with the reassemble as he gets jumped. He did it too late. Charlie popped him instantly. That fight could have also been different because he would have had the Aeon Disc to maybe turn, to be able to get some spells out.
Just some sort of tighter moves here from NIP, and a little bit, you know, it's falling apart here at Yellow Submarine. Understandably so against NIP right now. This big old bear, Charlie, is a huge issue, but we are going to see them try for a smoke jump top. This doesn't pay off it. They are just going to fall further and further behind. Collapse again, pressure onto him to just find this big arena initiation. Who's he going to get it on? Nobody. Spears out. It's not going to connect. Nimbus is out in the trees. Charlie jumps straight across over the walls. Collapse. Saberlight. He's in with the BKB Black Hole. He's got onto the two of them. Looking down to find the toss. NIP's Era is able to get Mio over as well. As this one's starting to look pretty rough. It's looking pretty done and dusted. As 9K lead, the catch onto the Phoenix. So bad's been found. NIP just turning it up a notch here. It's getting pretty fast-paced. 19-7, 10k lead, and Yellow Submarine, they just haven't been able to deal with any of the fights that NIP has been bringing. This Ursa is just too far ahead. They barely even touch Charlie in these fights.
Yeah, sick play by Era. That toss into the black hole onto Mio. Poor Zeus just flying into it. And it really feels like the initiation's just on point. NIP, as soon as they got the blink on Era, it's really just been them every single time. Every single one of these fights, getting the perfect jumps on the right targets. Yellow Submarine not able to connect with their big combo pretty much at all in this game. NIP just breaking it, and this Charlie Ursa is just way too big now for them to deal with.
Yeah, this is crazy. And it's just always refreshing to see now a hero that we don't really expect too much from, but because it has just fallen out of favor, just coming in and just smashing it. Charlie crushing this game.
Huge advantage now. This Morphling just feels like he can never do anything. In total, he's 0-4-1. Like, yeah, he's got given up that one assist from when he got that kill earlier on, but he can't contribute into the fights. It's just too many things he has to deal with, too many things he has to worry about. Lina, this BKB Enigma.
Top, and we'll get the catch onto Era, but Charlie's in. Era will fall by the looks of it. Charlie, he's going to look to try and find Sobat. The buyback coming out of the Witch Doctor. They've taken out Misha on the back of build. They also end up finishing Era. And Charlie, he's got to go for this BKB TP away, and he'll make it out, but a bit of a kickback there from Yellow Submarine, able to get rid of the two supports straight off. And Roshan is up. Yellow Submarine with a 5, and they're going to step over for this.
Yatoro?
Supreme?
He's actually going to... Oh my god, Supreme!
Oh, that's... Well, okay, Roshan's off the menu then. They've just lost their morph. 80 seconds, no buyback on Yatoro. I mean, maybe just feeling a little too comfortable with the fact that they killed off 3 heroes. He was not ready for Supreme to still be in position to do that.
He wasn't like, it's not like he's that squishy on the Morphe though. He's 1600 HP. We just see like Supreme did it perfectly. Just stunned him from the side. Has the quiver for the bonus magic damage too. It's too much burst with this Aghanims.
I mean, that really is just
huge.
Yeah, I mean, obviously NIP is still in a comfortable spot, but they were nearly about to almost certainly lose that Roshan. You know, if the morph doesn't go down, they would have had time to get in. And they didn't, because Supreme's able to pop him. And now things continue just the way of NIP. Charlie's into the pit. Arrow over to the side. He's able to pop the Aeon Disc of Sobat. He's holding them away, stopping any opportunity from Yellow Submarine to come in and interrupt this. As Aegis and Cheese, it's going NIP's way once again. As they're ready to sort of gear up and try and push to finish off the final set of racks. Only that bottom set left to look toward.
Yeah, you couldn't kill Charlie once. Now you're gonna have to go through how many lives of his, as he has the Satanic, he has the, his BKB, his Aegis, and I believe they had a Cheese too that he passed over to Supreme. But yeah, this is a pretty unkillable Ursa, it does feel. Yeah, Yatoro just struggling.
Yeah, he just hasn't been able to find any opportunities to really fight well, and I do feel a fair bit of that is coming out of the fact that the initiation's just been a little bit off for Yellow Submarine. This game, we've not really been able to see this Mars, collapse. He's just not been able to start a whole lot for the team that's ended up successfully. Every single fight that he's sort of gone for is, sort of been a spear off the mark, or it's just hard, I guess, because there is this Misha Io that's been able to turn around and keep the cores alive that have been jumped on by collapse.
Yeah, and then going to these closer times now, like within the last 10 minutes, he's probably always concerned about the counter initiate. Like he goes for this initiation, and then a BKB black hole comes and ruins his team. So it's now just very difficult for him. It's NIP, very comfortable, trying to find anybody they can to pick outside the base. They've got a long window here where they can just trap Yellow Submarine in their base.
Go top. Era. Have a look for the jumping onto Yatoro. Yatoro's caught the light track array. The black hole's coming in for Saberlight. He's caught the two of them. Collapse and Yatoro both found by the black hole. They're dead. Maposhka's trying to run. Charlie's looking to chase. The supernova will go off, but there's no follow-up damage to NIP. They just get away with the 2 kills. They lose nothing themselves. They can reset, and they can look to swing it over towards the mid lane. Supreme set up there onto Mio. Yours light strike, Mio able to step away. The Malefist still slowing him down with his mini stuns. A Supreme and Error, they're in on top of him. Mio goes down. GG is pulled. And NIP, they really cleaned this game up. It was a bit of sort of a passive start for the first 10 minutes or so, but when it started kicking off and the fights began, Yellow Submarine just couldn't